young friends. I welcome you all to today's session on water conservation. This is the program HIRWAI, which is for environment education and sensitization, brought to you by HCL Foundation and NGO Aroha. And I am Vishakha Rao. I welcome you again on today's session on water conservation. In the last session, we have learnt about rains, and we have also learnt about the necessity of water conservation. We will quickly go through why is the need for water conservation. Water, as you know, it is everybody's need, and thus it is everybody's responsibility as well. We take water so much for granted, but we forget that it is our responsibility to keep our water bodies safe and clean. Today we will see why we need to conserve. We have seen that we need water every day, but the rains are seasonal. We get rains only 100 hours in an year, but we need water every day of the year. Water, as you know, it is the prime source which sustains life. We cannot really imagine life without water. And like any other commodity, water cannot be created. And that is why we have to give due importance to water. Now, our change in lifestyle and change in agriculture also has increased the need for water. If we look at the global scenario, our ocean water is 97.3% and fresh water is 2.7%. Now, out of this fresh water, which is 2.7%, 75% of water is in polar ice and glaciers. So, this cannot be used for everyday use. Then, 13% of the water is groundwater, which is below 800 meters. So again, this is very difficult to extract and which has lot of heavy metals and minerals. Again, it cannot be used for everyday use. 10% of the groundwater is above 800 meters, which we are extracting and using. And 2% is the other sources, which is like rivers, open wells and lakes and so on. Now, if we are looking at the Indian scenario, we have 2.45% of the world's land area. We have 4% of world's fresh water. And we have 17% of the world population. So you see that per head water availability in India is so less. Now, of course, in the chart you will see the Indian scenario very clearly. If we are going to compare what is going to be the scenario in 2050 as compared to 2016. The population in the year 2016 was 1.29 billions. And in the year 2050, it is expected that the population of India would be around 1.64 billions. Now, water resource, of course, it remains the same, which is 1869 billion cubic meters, and in the year 2050 also it would be the same, that is 1869 billion cubic meters. So the water availability per head, per person in the year 2016, which was 1439 cubic meter per person, it will be less in 2050, which will be 1140 cubic meters per person. So this is I think you have realized that why in India particularly we need to be really very cautious about saving water and conserving water. They always say that the next world war would probably be on potable water. And I think it has already started on the border lines. Countries have started really fighting with each other on the dams and the river water and how we are going to share it and things like that. So let's see what happens to rainwater. We are already in the rainy season and we see today there are floods everywhere. Today the news of floods, if you see on the TV, you see floods in Assam, you see floods in Bihar, you see floods in Rajasthan, you see floods in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Orissa, and Kerala as well. So you see actually there are floods in rainy season and lot of water gets wasted because we have excess of water in that particular season. The rains are not uniformly distributed over the entire land. We have very less rains in Rajasthan, which is 100 millimeter, and we have highest rainfall in Meghalaya, which is around 12,000 millimeters. So again, we need definitely to take some conservation ways to see that where the water is getting wasted, we can store it in some reservoirs and use it for the whole year. Now, as you have seen, like what happens to the rain water, that some part of it percolates, goes back as a groundwater. Then some part, of course, like the forest and wherever you have the plantation, the percolation of water is much better. Some part of the water evaporates back into the atmosphere. Lot of water is getting wasted because we have not enough of water conservation schemes. Now, there are some problems with the surface and groundwater as well. Now, the percentage of water percolation has reduced because of deforestation and huge infrastructure developments. Like for example, you would see in number of cities today in India that in rainy season the cities are flooded. But in summers there is a scarcity of water. Because of infrastructure development, there is a cementing everywhere. So we have not really left any space where water can percolate and go to the ground level. So everywhere the water is getting stagnated and there is a flooding in the cities. As against that, in summers, like the ground water is not there because water has not gone into the ground. It has only flown from the surface and it has gone back to the sea or it has evaporated. So again, it cannot really it is not recharging our water reservoirs, and runoff is very, very huge. Second problem with the water is most of our water sources are polluted because we are not treating our wastewater. We are not treating our sewage, nor are we treating our industrial wastewater. Then because of the heavy use of fertilizer and insecticides and chemicals that we are using in agriculture, again the water bodies are getting polluted, and this has become really a very, very serious problem. Another problem what we are facing today is we are extracting water as if it is never going to end. Actually, whenever we are extracting groundwater, sometimes when there has been a testing, sometimes the water has been found that it was a water which was collected 500 years. There have been cases where the water was 800-year-old. So you see we are using the ancient water resources. And this is accumulated water. And it definitely is going to get over. So we see many a times that bore wells have dried down because we have extracted all the water that was there and the recharging of it is going to take a very, very long time. The water tables have depleted everywhere. So when we are talking about water conservation, we are going to really look at the whole thing at 3 levels. We need to find solutions at all the levels simultaneously. We need to find a solution on conserve, save and store water, rainwater as much as possible for it to last for years. Secondly, we need to address the water pollution at a root level. And thirdly, we need to really stop the over extraction of groundwater. So these are the 3 things what we are going to see a bit more in detail. Now when we are talking about conserve, save and store rainwater, the first of course is the rainwater harvesting. We need to really think that no water in the rainy season gets wasted. Even a single drop of water should be harvested and stored. And that is the ancient system what they have been following up in many of the areas in Rajasthan. So even whenever we have droughts in summers, I think this can definitely be studied and replicated. Secondly, we need to create lakes and ponds and water reservoirs. Because whatever we see around us, these lakes and water reservoirs have been created sometimes 50 years back during the time of it was pre-independence days or even before that. What we have created post-independence are the dams, but we have really not given due importance in creating ponds and lakes in our localities. Then of course government has taken a lot of initiative on watershed development for the agriculture, and that is a very, very welcome steps that the government at center as well as at the state level they just taking up, and that should be enhanced and continued. Secondly, conservation of forest areas is very important because that creates the holding capacity of the water. It helps in maximum percolation of the water at the ground, and we should definitely increase the forest area. That afforestation is also a very important part of it. Now what we have neglected all along is the rejuvenation of ancient conservation systems. Everywhere, wherever you go in India, you would find different types of water conservation systems, because that time we didn't have the electricity so easily available. So the power that was available was only the mechanical power or the human or the animal power. So you would always find very interesting water conservation systems. But we have actually neglected all that. I will give you an example of a small town in Vidarbha where they have this aad or baro, what they call it. It's a type of a well. Inside the house it used to be. So all the water requirement of the household was available within the house. You only had to really fetch the water from the well or that aad or baro, what we call it. Then there was a check dam or some dam which was developed by the government, and water started coming from the taps to every household. So every household decided that now they don't need these wells anymore. So some of them closed the wells, and some of the households in fact built the toilets just above the well, and then they used those wells as a sewage water drain. After some time, as it has happened in many of the irrigation systems, the water level in the dam dropped and there was no more water coming from the taps. And you see the plight of the town today. They are getting water only once a week in summers. But the water that they had in their household itself is all polluted and it's not possible for anybody to use it. So it is very, very important to regenerate the ancient conservation systems of water and also enhance it if it is possible. Children, it is also very important for you to understand that we also need to develop new conservation and new groundwater recharging systems. So you have a lot of scope in future to study this and maybe do a lot of research on it and come out with new solutions to a problem. Again, as I have said, that second part is the pollution. How are we going to tackle the pollution? Today we are using all our waterways, rivulets and rivers as sewage canals, sewage drains. They are not the drains. Our all cities and towns, our civilization basically has started on the bank of the rivers. But today, all these rivers we have turned them into the drainages. What we need to do is, we need to treat water before it is thrown into the water bodies. So we need to have a decentralized water treatment plants at every level. Every household, every building, every industry must have a water treatment plant and only the treated water will go out. So domestic sewage also should be treated as well as industrial wastewater also should be treated before it goes to the water body. Now again, conserve traditional knowledge and ecosystems which cleans the water. Number of different innovative ways have been tried out in different parts of the country. Calcutta being the main example, where it's a unique example and it's also like, I think it's considered as a World Heritage Site today. The way they are treating water and maintaining the ecosystem and also the livelihood of the fishermen in that area. So we will not go into the details, but sometime we will definitely talk about it. Now another problem that we have is a city waste, urban city waste. We are collecting all the waste at one site. We are just having those as dumping grounds. In that dumping grounds, the things are so bad. So everything leaches and pollute the groundwater. So we have definitely to again have a decentralized method of waste treatment. And in fact, try going from today's waste to zero waste. Every household must manage their own waste. So you can start composting at home, you can start segregation at home and see that no waste goes out of your house. We need to educate ourselves and educate the citizens to respect water bodies. And it is not a private property. And this water is not again going to last forever. So we need to really start taking care and consider it is a very, very valuable national asset. We also need to educate ourselves and the citizens to see that we change our habits and which will reduce the water pollution. We have already started doing that a bit, where we have decided that after puja we will not throw the all the garlands and the flowers and waste into the water body. We need to educate our citizens and ourselves on changing our habits on water pollution. Number of times actually we tend to immerse idols into the water bodies thinking that it is a sacred act, but that pollutes water. Secondly, number of times we want to throw everything that we do not want into the water body, the garlands and all the waste and everything, and that pollutes water. So we need to really change those habits and change our beliefs. As I was telling you about the over extraction of water, just because water is available by hand pump or just by pressing a button you get lot of water, we are over extracting water for agriculture use as well as for our personal use. I'll just give you some example, a comparative example. In fact, in Marathwada, what happened? The droughts have been a common phenomenon. So compare the drought of 1972 and the drought that we faced in 2016-17. The figures say that in 1972 there was a shortage of food, but drinking water was available because the water table was better. But in 2016 we had to supply water by railways to Marathwada. So where has all the water gone? The water we have extracted using the electrical power, which was available to us and previously it was not available to us. So the ground water table has depleted because we are over extracting water. So prudent use of groundwater should be the way of life. Children, what can we do at a personal level? It is important that you understand all the basics, but what can we do at a personal level? Lot of small things. Lot of small things will make a huge impact. Stop all the leakages of taps and water pipes in your house. Make sure that there are no leakages. Use buckets and not showers. That will reduce the water usage. Use water in mugs for brushing and shaving and other things rather than using a running tap. Make sure that running water is not used for washing vegetables, utensils, clothes and things like that. We can water the plants during cooler part of the day. So this will avoid the evaporation losses. We can start mulching. So this mulching will again reduce the evaporation losses. We can insist that our building, our school must go in for rainwater harvesting. We can start recycling the water, and this recycled water can be used for our flush, for our toilets and also for the garden. Then at a personal level, we should really start using natural cleaners like bioenzymes rather than the chemicals. We should go in for natural alternatives to toothpaste and soaps, etc. Now you are going to ask me why? Because all these chemicals that we use, the cosmetics and toiletries that we use have the chemicals which can really not be treated naturally and which has very harmful, like it has lead and arsenic and mercury, and again it pollutes our water and it enters our body some way or the other. We should also go in for planting lot of trees and maintaining them, growing them. And as we have also said, that going for proper garbage disposal system and try to have zero garbage levels. Another point which we neglect and which is not so obvious, that every food item that we buy from outside has a water footprint. For example, 1 kg of sugar. Do you know how much water that it requires? It requires 2500 liters of water. So while we are consuming 1 kg of sugar, remember that we are also consuming 2500 liters of water. Similarly, cold drinks and all the artificial food that we buy from outside has huge water footprints. So as much as possible, we should avoid this. So we come to an end on water conservation session. I am sure you would want to ask number of things, and you would also like to contribute with your experiences and your opinions. Please do write to us. Our contact email is aroha dot nagpur nagpur@gmail.com. My personal email ID is vishakharao@rediffmail.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day.